Hello and welcome back to my fragrance channel. Today's video was so hard and I didn't even do top 10 fragrances for life. I did top 15 fragrances for life and I still sat there deliberating and stressing over which fragrances, if I could only have 15 for life. And it was embarrassingly difficult to do. So just know that there was a struggle going into preparing this video, but I have them here with me. I'm still very sad about the ones that I left behind. But anyway, this is why I will never be able to go back to a really small collection. I just have fallen in love with too many fragrances, but these are the ones when it really came down to it that I just would not want to have to be without. So I'm gonna go in no particular order, no particular organization. This is going to run across the board, all seasons, everything. So these are just my favorites. So here we go. The first one is Diptyque Philosykos. I have loved this fragrance for forever. I smelled it years ago, and before I even smelled it, I wanted to love it because I just thought that the name and the concept were so romantic. Something about the concept. Also, please ignore my awful. We had a self-tanning incident, so ignore my palms of my hands, please. I wanted to love this fragrance before I even tried it. I thought the idea was so romantic. The idea of, a grove of fig trees and smelling the leaves, the bark, the fig fruit, and that the name was beautiful. And so then I tried it and I did, in fact, fall in love with it. This is not my first bottle. I've been through a couple bottles at this point, and I think it is just the most beautiful, unique, fruity fragrance. I'm not the biggest fruity fragrance person where fruit is like the main feature of a fragrance. I tend to like ones, unless it's citrus. I love citrus fragrances, but I tend to like where there's a little bit more going on generally. A fruity floral or something like that, but this one I would say is predominantly a fruity fragrance, that fig fruit, that fig milk, but it also has that lovely fresh green quality and some light woodiness. I actually personally prefer the eau de toilette, although I love both the eau de parfum and the eau de toilette, but this one of my favorite fragrances. I just get this impression or vibe in my head of wrapping up in a fluffy spa robe, standing on a terrace that's overlooking a grove of fig trees. That's how I feel when I wear this fragrance. It's very relaxing to me, something about it, and I just think it's beautiful and works in all seasons, and it is one of my favorites. So that's one, not one, we're not ranking these, but that is one of them. The next one, okay, For Your Love from Mise. Now, y'all know, I feel like I've talked about this enough at this point where y'all know that I just love Mise as a house. I think that Alberto Morillas just does such a beautiful job with his fragrances, and a lot of them have a lot of qualities that I generally just look for in fragrances. They're usually on the lighter side, kind of ethereal, a bit powdery, kind of fluffy and airy. He uses a lot of florals, musks, iris, and so in general, I am a huge fan of Mise. So it was really, really hard to narrow down two. I decided to put two in this list, and one of them is For Your Love. So this kind of has a little bit of that classic Baccarat Rouge DNA, but I would say it's not as sweet. I find the burnt sugar element of Baccarat to not quite work on my skin always, and I also get a bit of a medicinal quality from it. I think like a lot of people do. Not everyone's nose picks up on that, but mine does, unfortunately, and so Baccarat does not work for me, but this has a bit of that ambergris DNA from Baccarat, but then it has a lot of musk. It's a very fluffy, musky fragrance. I think it's very warm, cozy. It's a bit ambery, and then it has this powdery raspberry note that's not too sweet, but it's really beautiful, and something about this manages to be warm and kind of sultry, but also still smell a bit fresh. So I absolutely love this one. It has incredible sillage. It really creates a lovely trail. A lot of times I've worn this if I'm date nights out to dinner, and even like in restaurants have gotten compliments on this one. So I think it projects really beautifully, but not in a really heavy way. Like it's like just a cloud around you. Again, like a lot of the mise en scène fragrances because of those molecular components that Alberto Morelos uses. So I love this one. I love it for date nights, especially in slightly cooler weather. So that's the next one. Then I will just always love this fragrance for date nights. This is Coco Noir. I just think this fragrance is so unique. I cannot think of another fragrance that I have smelled that smells like this one. It's rose, it's got a bit of clove, but not in an overbearing, overly spicy way, just in this hint of a light spice. There's some kind of dry woodiness. It's not a really sweet fragrance, which I appreciate because I think that a lot of kind of evening fragrances or fragrances that are geared towards nighttime or cooler weather tend to be on the sweeter side a lot of the time. So I really appreciate that this is like almost a darker fragrance in a way, but not in a sweet or heavy way. It still stays very light, but with those, I don't know, something about it does feel like it fits the bottle. It feels really classy. I could see this either for like a power meeting or a date night. It's like one of my go-to date night scents. So I think this is beautiful and definitely one of my favorite Chanels. I way prefer it to Coco Mademoiselle. So the next one, okay, we're gonna go with Clean Reserve Skin. This is also not my first bottle. I tried this originally because of Anna Lauren here on YouTube, who I'm obsessed with her. She's a beautiful, beautiful human, and she has the best fragrance taste. Describes fragrances so beautifully. So she talked about this fragrance, and she talked about it having just this addictive praline note, being really clean and musky, and so I ended up picking up a little bottle of it. I sampled it, and then I picked up a little bottle of it, and I went through that like in no time flat. And now it's just really become one of my favorite fragrances. It's so unique, I feel like, because it is very clean and musky and fresh, and yet it does have that really addictive sweetness. So I love this. I think if you tend to like gourmand perfumes, but you want something that feels really like fresh and skin-like, this would be truly so perfect. I think it is absolutely beautiful. The only thing is I wish it was stronger, but honestly it has decent longevity. I do tend to spray a lot of it to get a bit more projection because it is very intimate, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. Love that as like a daily wear fragrance. So next one, Byredo's Balda Freak. I was shopping with my family in Dallas. We were on just like a little shopping trip. And in my head I was like, okay, I kind of want a new fragrance. This was pretty early on in my fragrance journey. And I went to like a niche fragrance store. I was looking all around Neiman's, and I just wasn't smelling anything that really like spoke to me, you know? And then I went to the Byredo store there. And as soon as I smelled this fragrance, I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it was so stunning, so comforting, so kind of well-rounded. There's nothing sharp or harsh about this fragrance, but it's very uplifting and just clean smelling. I love the vetiver note in here. It's very soft vetiver, and then there's that beautiful kind of happy citrus, and I think there's marigold in here as well. Although I don't get a ton of florals, I feel like I mostly get that soft citrus and a very smooth, creamy almost vetiver. It's not a sharp, harsh vetiver at all. I love this fragrance. I think it is so beautiful for every day. I think it'd be a perfect signature and just smells so elevated and clean and classy. So that's the next one. The next one, okay, this is a pretty recent love for me, but I have actually fallen head over heels for it. This is Xerjoff's Apollonia, and you can shop samples of this on Twisted Lily, and you can shop the full size. I have a discount code below. This is the Orris fragrance of my dreams. I have never smelled an Orris fragrance that I liked as much as this one. That's like a Orris dominant fragrance. This is basically white flowers, Orris butter, and white musk. And it just is the most ethereal, magical, smelling, soft, fluffy, but it's like got some warmth to it, but also smells like it has that cold iris quality. This is just truly one of the most unique and special fragrances that I think I have ever tried. I get so excited when I talk about it because I just think it's such a beautiful like rendition of the orris note. So if you are an orris lover, definitely give this a sample. Like I said, samples are on Twisted Lily and I have a discount below. So the next one has been one that I have run through at this point several bottles of. This is Ellis Brooklyn's Myth, and why I love it. Why I initially ended up trying it was because I saw someone somewhere online say that it smelled like Biolage shampoo, and I have always loved the smell of Biolage shampoo. It's what I wash my hair with every single day, or I don't wash my hair every day, but when I wash my hair, I wash it with Biolage, and it is just the most clean smelling to me, I guess, because it's what I associate with like having clean hair and being clean. So this just smells so clean and fresh and shampoo-like to me. It has a bit of like a white musk quality, some fresh florals. It just smells so clean, so clean. I mean, I can't think of, but not in a cleaning product way or anything that's sharp or harsh. It's just absolutely beautiful. And it is still in it's like shampoo, but in an elevated, elegant way. It doesn't smell, you know, like straight up shampoo, but it definitely does have that quality to me. So I love to just douse this on myself after a shower, especially. I love to spray it on before bed. I think it is just super clean and fresh, and if you want something in that category, can't recommend this one enough. So the next one, if you've followed me for any time at all, I feel like a broken record when I talk about this fragrance, so I'm so sorry if everyone is sick of hearing me talk about it. But Treasure from Mise en Zere, this is soft, kind of sweet orange blossom, carried on a mineral sea breeze. It's like it's wafting the mineral, you know, smelling salty sea breeze is wafting the scent of orange blossom to you, and then there's a soft powdery, fluffy vanilla. This one has a beautiful trail and sillage. I think, again, there's some molecular components in here that really help it project well, and I love the vanilla in here. It's a very fresh vanilla. You know, it's not a really gourmand vanilla at all. This one is just absolutely stunning to me. I love this for evening, for date nights, especially when the weather is a bit warmer, and I also think that this is a perfect signature scent. I think it's actually office appropriate as well. I can't think of a scenario where this one isn't appropriate. So I absolutely love this one. I think I actually tried this fragrance because of Erin Nicole on here. So I need to thank her because I think she's why I discovered this one, and I absolutely love it. So as you can see, I have a huge dent in this one. So next, I think I have actually talked about this fragrance on here. This is Cartier's Luxuriance. I picked it up on my honeymoon, I think I said in my last video, so it will always smell like honeymooning in Paris with my husband to me. This is a very crisp, bright, sparkly, fresh green fragrance with a beautiful geranium note. I think if you like geranium, you have to get your nose on this fragrance. This just gives me woodland fairies. This gives me all the woodland fairy vibes, like, you know, flitting about by some sort of a babbling, sparkling brook. Yeah, this one's so good. Absolutely stunning. So if you want a green fragrance, if you want a geranium fragrance, I love this one. It just has this effervescent, bright, sparkly quality that I haven't really experienced in a lot of other fragrances. So next is the Means Peregrina, and this was actually named after I think the La Peregrina, the pearl, which was given to Elizabeth Taylor for Valentine's Day. And I think it's like the largest, most valuable pearl or something that has ever existed. Don't fact check me on this because I'm going off of memory, but I feel like that was the story that went along with the naming of this fragrance. And it's just ultra pretty and feminine. There's rose in here. There's ambery, vanillic notes, but it's not a deep, heavy amber to me. It's like a mid, it's not like a white amber, like a fresh amber, but it's not a really deep resinous amber. It's just a soft ambery quality. It's very warm, it's sweet, it's got a beautiful rose note, and something about the rose, there's also white florals in here, but I mostly get rose. And something about the rose note in this really has a freshness when you first spray it that smells quite realistic, actually. Like there definitely is a real, rose petal-like quality when you first spray it, and then as it dries down, more of those ambery vanillic notes come out. I think this is beautiful. I think it's so stunning. Again, I love it for date nights. I love a warm rose scent for date nights, and I also think this could honestly be a signature, I especially do love this in slightly cooler weather. I think it's just ultra pretty. It smells very luxurious to me. So yeah, this is my Valentine's Day scent this last year. So next, and in kind of a similar vein, is Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif. And, ooh, I love this one. This is a deeper, powdery, rosy amber scent to my nose. I do love the original Delina, but the Exclusif is my personal pick for some reason. I just love that warm, powdery quality that the Exclusif has. There's oud, there's an incense note in here as well. It's very fluffy, it's very feminine. I love the rose quality of this one. I just think this smells romantic and luxurious. It's always my pick for like a special occasion. If I have a special event to go to and it's in cooler weather, this is always what I reach for. I just think it's absolutely perfect. I love the bottle too. I just think the bottle represents what the fragrance smells like to me. So then, okay, so I debated putting this one on here because I will say the performance isn't great. It's a Jo Malone, so I feel like they just never have the best performance. But I have recently gotten the body cream for Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and I really feel like the body cream makes a big difference in the longevity for me, and I just love the scent so much, so I had to put it on here. I originally tried this because of Yana from The Scented, and I think she described it as smelling like a luxurious body lotion at one point. And I was like, that sounds nice. I love that feeling when you're like, you have like, you're all clean and like you're about to put on a fluffy robe and you've got like, you're putting a luxurious body cream like on your hands or something. And definitely this smells like that to me. There's that light woodiness, bit of saltiness. It's got something about it, almost does have like a creamy quality, not in a lactonic way, but in a body cream kind of way. I think this one is beautiful. I absolutely love it as just a daily wear fragrance, but I will say I think it makes a lot more sense to get this with the body cream and wear them as like a duo, because on its own it just does not have the best longevity, but with the body cream I do feel like it lasts pretty well. So next is Lust in Paradise by Ex Nihilo, and I'm increasingly realizing that Ex Nihilo has so many fragrances that I love. I think they do such a beautiful job, especially with like delicate feminine florals, but Lust in Paradise just truly is so stunning. I have never smelled a more dewy, fresh, realistic, rosy scent. It has rose, peony, lychee, petalia. Actually, I don't even think it has rose. I think it's just the petalia that has a rosy quality. And it truly doesn't smell like perfume. It truly does just smell like dew-covered, fresh flower petals. And I think it is just magical. The perfect fragrance for spring. It's not a heavy floral at all. It is just the most fresh, like aquatic almost, but really just not even aquatic. Like it just smells watery in the best way. Not like a fresh aquatic, but it is fresh. I do not know how to put this into words, but this is beautiful. It really does just smell so realistic and like those fresh flower petals. So if that sounds good to you, I can't recommend a better option than Lust in Paradise. Then lastly, close to last, no, we have two more left. This is Rochas Elixir, and this is my second bottle. I just think this fragrance is so, so stunning. It's the perfect blend to me of slightly fruity notes, floral notes, and warmth, and some powderiness as well. This is like, this almost feels like nothing really stands out. You know, I get the raspberry note, I get the rose note, I get some powderiness and some vanilla, but honestly nothing truly jumps out at you. It just smells absolutely idyllic and beautiful and feminine and fluffy and sweet, but not too sweet. This is just absolute perfection in a bottle. I think it is so stunning. I think this would be a great signature. I think it'd be great year round, although I'd say I definitely, no, honestly, I wear it year round. I was gonna say I wear it more in the spring and summer, but I really reached for it all winter. I just opened the second bottle, and this is just a beautiful powdery, but not too powdery, fresh, fruity floral, and it just really smells, it smells expensive. And my one complaint about this is that I do wish it lasted longer, but it's honestly worth it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through, that was a lot. I could have gone on for several more fragrances. I feel like a top 20 would be so much easier, but we did a top 12, so this video wasn't crazy long. And so anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know any other videos that you'd like to see down in the comments. So any reviews or house videos. I feel like I should do a Mise en Serre like house overview because I have 9 of their fragrances now. So I feel like I might should do one of those. But let me know down in the comments what videos you would like to see from me, and I will see you in the next video.